Good morning. Good morning from Albania today. So I hope that you've been having a good day on Monday, and I hope to see you guys on Friday again. But what I want to talk about today is we have been talking about entering markets, right? And much of our thinking along the lines and that we've talked about is by making and selling stuff. Well, here I am in Albania at Hotel Teatro. Okay. And one of the things that I want to point out is that a good chunk of the economy in the United States, maybe up to 80%, in other countries, maybe a little bit less, sometimes maybe even more, is a service economy, right? People not making stuff, but people doing stuff for other folks. And, you know, when we deal with international business, okay, service is a big part of that. I had mentioned that I had worked for Simon Cooper and Partners, which was a German consulting company, management consulting company that helped businesses around the world, including pharmaceutical companies, airlines, etc., figure out what their product pricing should be. Okay, this is a service. And as part of that, we worked for airlines such as Emirates Airlines, pharmaceutical companies all around the world, and so on and so forth. So when we think about international business, you know, it's very possible that you have a service that you are providing rather than you're making stuff. Okay, so here in Albania, I wish I had taken the picture when we landed, but when we went through customs, there was a sign that basically said it was somebody waiting to pick up somebody, and the sign uh, was from a local dental center. Okay, they were dealing with medical tourism, and in Albania specifically, dental tourism. But there's other, other things as well. If in the middle of the night you go to the emergency room and you need to have X-rays taken, it's not wouldn't be surprising whatsoever if that X-ray was being read by a radiologist, and it's very possible that radiologist could have been in India or maybe here in Albania. Okay, one of the businesses that here hire the largest number of people, okay, are call centers. So when you pick up the phone and you call a company, to talk to a representative, it's very possible that you might be reaching somebody in a different country. Here in Albania, that is a very large, it's an entry level job for those that are younger, have gone through uh, high school, maybe some college, and are fluent in languages such as English or Italian. Uh, in this country, you don't necessarily, in the U.S., you don't necessarily think of Italian as being a language that makes sense to have. But here, uh, if you look at where uh, Albania is, it is essentially on the other side of the water from the heel of Italy. Okay, so there's a lot of commerce that goes back and forth between Albania and Italy. It's um, their business partner for most of their international area. Right. Okay. So, what do you have to take into account? Well, some of the things that you need to take into account is that your services your services might have a demand across the world. Okay, a lot of firms will hire American accounting firms, right, to look over their books and make sure that uh, that they are accounting properly and that they are, uh, that they're expressing their true financial situation to their shareholders, to their stakeholders, such as the governments, for paying taxes and so on and so forth. Okay. Now, um, technology is making this a lot easier. Okay. As I sit here on the other side of the world from where you are this morning, okay, I just finished having a wonderful breakfast at the Hotel Teatro, and I'm communicating to you uh, via uh, recording that has been uploaded via the internet. Okay, by moving back and forth through technology, it is much easier nowadays to do things that are data driven around the world. Okay, just like FedEx, etc., like that has made it easier to sell products and move products from one spot of the world to another. Okay. Anyways, the same thing has happened in service, which has made it easier to communicate. All right. So I just want to make sure that you guys sort of understand that that's the scenario. And as you get ready to graduate, one of the things you need to understand is in the US, we have known that we were competing around the world for manufacturing, right? And in many cases, manufacturing jobs were the first ones to leave to go to low cost areas around the world. But that's not the case anymore. Okay. If you are graduating with a business degree, you may be competing not just with your fellow classmates or from classmates from other universities in the United States for jobs. You may be competing about those jobs actually existing in the United States, or that you are competing with foreigners. At GE Healthcare, we had more engineers in Shanghai, China than in the US. Okay, note I said engineers. Okay, so electrical, mechanical jobs. Okay, medical. Okay, we uh, we may go to a medical location. Okay, for costs. In Albania, dental costs are about a quarter of what they are in the United States. So if you have, half of uh, a mouthful of teeth that need to have crowns or things like that, yeah, you can. This would be something that would be very, very cost effective for you to do. Many of you who live on the valley, some of you may have dentists that are actually in Mexico. Same type of thing. Okay. It is not just Americans that are moving elsewhere, it's we have medical tourism that goes in the other direction as well. So, if you are a relatively wealthy person and you want the best in cardiac care, it is very possible that you will come to the United States and you will go to someplace like the Cleveland Clinic or the Mayo Hospital in Rochester, Minnesota, etc. Because for some of the really high-end procedures, okay, the United States is the leader, and we have people from around the world coming to us, right? So, as you are thinking through expanding your business, okay, think outside of the borders. Think outside of you know, outside of the continent. You may want to think about, well, who else in the world would want my services? And you can do that. All right. So that's just a rough message I want to leave you with this morning. And we will see you on Friday and continue on. All right. So from Albania, uh, Filamendara for listening to me. And anyways, have a good rest of the week. And we'll see you in a couple days when I'm back. Thank you. Bye bye.